think there's something that could be addressed that would sort of, if not change the reality of bowl games like this, at least the narrative around them? That when you've got the portal and you've got opt-outs and a way to sort of make bowl games feel like they've got their full cachet, or is it just the reality of what college football is in 2023 and 24?
I guess in my opinion, I mean, whenever you get to this part of the season, guys have already put their body on the line and put a lot on the line up to this point. And, the goal is for most teams in the country to be in the college football playoffs. So I mean, whenever you don't make it, it is kind of heartbreaking. And then at the same time, you have to make decisions, personally for yourself, because a lot of these guys, a lot of the guys in the country, a lot of the dream is, play at the next level. And sometimes, some situations call for you to make a business decision and get ready for the next level. And some guys, just want to be able to play one last time. So I mean, I can't really say that it's something that should be done or that shouldn't be done. I mean, it's all up to personal preference at that point. I definitely think, with the expansion of the playoff, it'll help out, because with more teams being in the playoff, it'll give more players incentive to stay and play. Obviously, because you compete for a championship. And then what about the teams that don't make it to the 12-team playoff? Like the 12-team playoff so I mean, it's definitely a gray area. I mean, I don't have all the answers because.
Why don't you have all the answers?
Because everybody's got their own individual vendetta and things like that. But I mean, it's just all up to personal preference.
What has gone into your decision making process?
For me it was pretty simple. I've always been taught, if I'm able to play a game, or if there's a game on my schedule and I'm able to play, I should play. I owe it to my teammates, my family, my coaches. So I mean, that was pretty simple for me.
I'm curious, you guys obviously had your own disappointment in the way that the season ended, and certainly had a strong case to be in that top four regardless. But particularly as a defensive player, when Florida State's 13-0 and the committee says, sorry, your quarterback got hurt, you're not good enough to be here. If that had been you guys and Carson gets hurt, where would your mindset have been? Do you think that's a fair way to evaluate a team, or how would you have approached that?
I mean, it's tough, honestly. You put a lot of stress onto one player whenever a team is consistent of about 80 to 130 players. So I mean, but the committee made their decision, and they obviously put a lot of thought into that, and they thought that was the best decision. So I mean, who am I to say that they're wrong? I mean, it's definitely a tough decision because, it's just tough because. It's just tough.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much more to really say about it.
You've played Alabama, and you've, I assume, watched a good bit of tape on Florida State at this point. I'm assuming, you don't see it as there's clearly one better team and one worse team here.
I mean, it's super tough because both teams are very good. I mean, obviously we lost to Alabama, and then obviously Florida State is undefeated. So I mean, they had a very tough decision to make, but they ended up making it. I mean, that's why they get chosen and paid to make those decisions.
Kamari, I'm sure you've answered this multiple times already today, but what went into the decision to play in this football game?
It was pretty simple for me. I was always under the impression if I'm able to play, physically and mentally, I'm going to play. So I mean, it wasn't really a big question or anything like that. It was just a matter of time. Once again.
Have you made a decision on the NFL?
Not yet. I'm gonna wait till after the game and talk with my family and everybody and the coaches and them was on the side.
I asked Malachi a similar question. I'm curious your thoughts. When you don't really know what you're going to get, you haven't seen a lot of these guys from Florida State play because they got a lot of opt-outs. Mm-hmm. How do you prepare for a nameless and faceless opponent?
You just kind of prepare on the precipice of just how the team has played all year, the things that they do, their tendencies and stuff like that. You just try and be ready for things like that because obviously the players are going to be different. They have a lot of good players that opted out, especially on offense. Quarterback, good receivers, running backs and stuff like that. So I mean, you can't really fully understand or fully know, but you can have kind of an idea.
We talk about the fact that you've got a decision to make after the bowl game. Obviously, that means you're a pretty talented player. Where do you feel like your game has grown the most over this year?
I really wanted to just be able to show that I can cover. You know, I really wanted to show that I'm a pretty good cover guy. Like I wanted to be a really good cover guy this year. You know, I felt like I showed, you know, my sophomore year that I'm a physical guy. You know, I love to come down there and make tackles, but I really wanted to, you know, just show that I can cover. I can cover whoever and wherever on the field.
Obviously, a lot of young cornerbacks in your room, a couple that have entered the transfer portal. Just you know, what is there, you know, behind you in Dalen and Julian and some of those guys, some of those younger players?
Pure talent. I mean, these guys are very talented. They're young, but they're really talented. You know, they have all the intangibles. You know, they just have everything. You know, you just have to really just start honing in and locking in on the game. You know, whenever you're young, you know, things get hard. You know, just because of the magnitude of the game, the magnitude of the conference that we play in. But you know, with experience, everything's gonna come full circle.
Not sure how much you've gotten to see out of Ellis yet. What stands out to you about him?
He's young, but he's very good. He wants to learn. He wants to be better. He wants to get better so fast. You can tell that he's one of those guys that, you know, he definitely wants to come in and play day one. And I believe that, you know, with his work ethic and with his talent that he can.